If you don't take the initiative to own assets, you'll never achieve true wealth. You'll spend your entire life working tirelessly, saving only a small portion, and still find yourself struggling financially. Meanwhile, the rich are quietly amassing assets that effortlessly grow their money even as they sleep. In this video, I'll reveal 15 powerful assets that have the potential to make you rich, and you might be absolutely stunned to discover how many people overlook the importance of number 7. First up, rental properties. Let's dive into the world of real estate, which is arguably the most well-known and widely recognized method for building substantial wealth. However, a common misconception is that it's an opportunity reserved exclusively for the wealthy elite, and that simply isn't true. Consider this perspective. If you own a house and choose to rent it out, someone else is essentially covering your mortgage payments for you. Over time, the value of the property tends to increase steadily, and you're collecting a reliable rent check every single month. It's almost like planting a money tree in your backyard, except instead of watering it daily, you just need to ensure the tenants don't cause significant damage to the place. For example, let's imagine you purchase a modest apartment for $100,000 with a low down payment and finance the remainder through a mortgage. If you rent it out for $1,200 per month, and after accounting for the mortgage, taxes, and basic maintenance costs, you still pocket a few $100s each month. That's income you didn't have to lift a finger to earn. And here's the exciting part. In 10 to 15 years, that property could potentially double in value, far exceeding your initial investment. Of course, it's not entirely a passive endeavor. Things will break, tenants will come and go. But over the long haul, real estate has proven to be one of the most effective assets for creating millionaires, surpassing nearly every other investment option. The best part? You don't need to start by buying a sprawling mansion. Many people kick off their real estate journey through a strategy called house hacking, purchasing a small multi-unit property, living in one section, and renting out the other units. This way, your tenants can cover most, if not all, of your housing expenses, giving you a financial head start. Second, index funds and ETFs. Now, let's shift gears to the stock market. Imagine you want to invest in stocks, but don't have the time or desire to spend hours researching individual companies, poring over detailed financial reports, or constantly worrying about fluctuating stock prices every single day. That's where index funds and exchange-traded funds, ETFs, come to the rescue. Think of an index fund as a massive basket that contains hundreds of different stocks from various companies. Rather than putting all your eggs in one basket by betting on a single company, you're spreading your investment across a diverse range of them. One of the most popular options is the S&P 500, which includes 500 of the largest and most influential companies in the United States, such as Apple, Google, Amazon, and many other industry giants. Here's why this approach is so intelligent. Over the past several decades, the S&P 500 has delivered an average annual return of approximately 10%. That means if you simply invest your money and let it sit, it would grow significantly more than if you attempted to pick individual stocks on your own. Because, fun fact, even most professional traders struggle to consistently outperform the market. ETFs work in a similar way, except they trade like regular stocks on the exchange, offering flexibility. So, if you're looking for a straightforward way to invest without all the stress and hassle, index funds and ETFs are essentially this set-it-and-forget-it solution for steadily growing your wealth over time. Third, real estate investment trusts, REITs. Let's say you're intrigued by the idea of earning money from real estate, but aren't keen on dealing with the day-to-day responsibilities of tenants, ongoing maintenance, or the burden of a large down payment. That's where REITs step in. A REIT, or Real Estate Investment Trust, is essentially a company that owns and manages a diverse portfolio of properties, such as shopping malls, office buildings, or apartment complexes, and rents them out to businesses or individuals. When these properties generate income from rent, the REIT distributes a portion of those profits to its investors in the form of dividends. Think of it as owning a tiny slice of a towering skyscraper without ever having to purchase the building outright or fix a leaking roof yourself. You can invest in REITs just like you would buy a stock, and they often provide a consistent cash flow since they're legally required to distribute the majority of their earnings to shareholders. So, if you want to dip your toes into real estate without the headaches of being a landlord, REITs allow you to do so with just a minimal initial investment. Fourth, dividend stocks. Now, let's explore dividend stocks, which are essentially stocks that pay you a reward for simply holding on to them. Here's how it works. When you buy a stock, you typically only make money if the price increases and you sell it at a profit later on. However, some companies, especially large, stable ones like Coca-Cola, McDonald's, and Johnson & Johnson, actually pay their investors a portion of their profits every few months. This payment is called a dividend, and it's like owning a small stake in a business that sends you a regular paycheck just for being a shareholder. You're not working for them. You're not actively managing anything. You're just collecting money while they continue to operate their business. For instance, if a company offers a 5% dividend yield, that means for every $100 you invest, you'll receive $5 per year, regardless of what happens to the stock price. And if you reinvest those dividends, your money begins to compound over time, much like a snowball rolling downhill and growing larger with each turn. So, if you enjoy the idea of getting paid without selling your investments, dividend stocks could be one of the simplest and most effective ways to build a steady, reliable stream of income over the long term. Fifth, private equity and startups. You've likely heard incredible stories of early investors in companies like Amazon or Uber who turn modest investments into life-changing fortunes. That's the power of private equity and startup investing in action. Instead of purchasing stocks in large, established corporations, some individuals choose to invest in small, early-stage businesses before they become household names. It's a bit like being a talent scout, except instead of identifying future sports stars, you're betting on future billion-dollar companies. For example, imagine your friend is launching a promising new tech startup and needs funding. If you invest $5,000 early on and the company takes off, that small stake could eventually be worth hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars down the road. Of course, startups are inherently risky, and many do fail, but a single major success can more than offset a series of losses. The challenge is that you typically need a high net worth or strong industry connections to access the best opportunities. However, with the rise of crowdfunding platforms, even average investors can now own a small piece of promising startups without needing millions up front. It's not a fast track to riches, but with patience and a keen eye for spotting winners, startup investing can be a game changer for your financial future. Sixth, websites and digital assets. Think about your favorite website or blog for a moment. Have you ever wondered how they generate their income? It's usually through advertising, affiliate links, or selling products. And the best part is that once a website is established, it can continue making money even while you're fast asleep. For instance, let's say you launch a simple blog focused on fitness. You write helpful articles, and over time, people start visiting your site regularly. You can then place advertisements that pay you every time someone clicks, add affiliate links so you earn a commission when someone buys a recommended product like protein powder, or even sell a digital product like an ebook or an online course. Once created, there's no need for inventory or shipping, just pure profit every time someone makes a purchase. Some people even buy and flip websites, much like real estate. They find small, underdeveloped sites, improve them with better content or design, and sell them later for a significant profit. So, whether you're writing, selling, or simply setting up a website that runs on autopilot, digital assets offer a fantastic way to create passive income with far fewer headaches than traditional brick-and-mortar business. Seventh, personal brand. Let's discuss something that most people completely overlook: your personal brand. Before you dismiss this idea, hear me out. Your name, your unique skills, and your personal experiences are all valuable assets. If you package them effectively, you can transform them into a long-term source of income. Take YouTube as an example. If you're exceptionally skilled at fixing cars, cooking delicious meals, or managing money wisely, and you start sharing that knowledge through videos, a blog, or social media platforms, people will begin to take notice. Once you build an audience, brands will pay you to promote their products, companies will sponsor your content, and you can even create and sell your own courses or offer coaching services. Look at someone like Mr. Beast, who built an entire empire just by creating engaging videos, or finance YouTubers who started with basic money advice and now earn millions through sponsorships, books, and speaking engagements. The surprising part is that most people ignore this opportunity, thinking, "Why would anyone care about what I have to say?" But the truth is, everyone has something valuable to offer, whether it's specialized skills, unique experiences, or just an interesting way of explaining things. And the best part? Unlike real estate or stocks, building a personal brand requires almost no financial investment, just time and consistency. If you put yourself out there, you never know what incredible opportunities might come your way. Eighth, intellectual property. Consider the example of a book an author writes. It's a one-time effort, but every time someone buys a copy, the author receives payment. The same principle applies to an online course. You record it once, upload it for sale, and people can keep buying it without you needing to do anything further. The same goes for patents and licenses. If you invent something innovative or create a unique design, companies might pay you to use it. Ever heard of the individual who invented the fidget spinner? For a while, he was earning money every time a company sold one. The beauty of intellectual property is that once it's created, it continues working for you without requiring you to trade your time for money. It's like setting up a vending machine stocked with valuable content that keeps paying you back over time. Ninth, luxury and collectible assets. Let's talk about luxury and collectible assets. Items like rare watches, classic cars, and fine art that can actually appreciate in value over the years. Think of it this way. A brand new car loses value the moment you drive it off the dealership lot, but a 1960s Ferrari could be worth millions today. The same applies to a Rolex watch or a limited edition painting. Some collectibles increase in value faster than stocks because they're rare and demand continues to rise. It's almost like owning a piece of history. Rich people invest in these items not just because they look impressive, but because they know someone down the line will be willing to pay even more for them. Of course, not every watch or car becomes a valuable asset, but if you have an eye for quality and know what to look for, these can be much more than just expensive toys. 10th, farmland and agricultural investments. Land is a finite resource, yet the world's population keeps growing, and no matter what happens with the economy, people will always need food. That's why farmland can be such a dependable and solid investment. It produces something essential to human survival. Consider this. If you own a piece of farmland, you can rent it out to farmers, grow and sell crops yourself, or even invest in agricultural businesses. Since food prices tend to rise over time, the value of farmland usually increases as well. It's not as flashy or trendy as stocks or cryptocurrency, but big investors and even billionaires like Bill Gates have been quietly acquiring farmland for years because it's a long-term strategy that can generate consistent income year after year without depending on fleeting trends or hype. 11th, crypto and blockchain assets. Let's address one of the most debated investment options out there, cryptocurrency and blockchain. Some people swear it's the future of finance, while others dismiss it as mere hype. But here's what we can agree on. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other crypto assets have made a lot of people incredibly wealthy. Think of Bitcoin as digital gold. There's a limited supply, and people view it as a way to store value. Ethereum, on the other hand, serves as a foundation for applications and smart contracts that could revolutionize how businesses operate, much like the early days of the internet when its potential was still being explored. Now, crypto isn't without its challenges. It's highly volatile and still evolving. But the broader picture is that blockchain technology is here to stay. It's being utilized for secure transactions, decentralized finance, DeFi, and even digital art like NFTs. Whether you choose to invest or not, it's worth keeping an eye on, as we might be witnessing the early stages of a transformative financial landscape. 12th, precious metals like gold and silver. Think of gold as a financial safety net. When the economy crashes, inflation spikes, or currencies lose their value, people flock to gold because it's a tangible asset that holds its worth over time. This is why central banks and wealthy investors always keep some gold in their portfolios. Silver operates in a similar fashion but also has practical industrial applications, such as in electronics, solar panels, and medical equipment, so its demand continues to grow. Unlike stocks, gold and silver don't pay dividends or generate active income, but when everything else is unstable, they tend to remain strong, which is why they're often referred to as a hedge against inflation. 13th, vending machines and ATMs. You've likely bought a snack from a vending machine or withdrawn cash from an ATM at some point. But have you ever considered who owns them? It's usually not a massive corporation. It's often regular people who place them in busy locations and collect the profits. A vending machine selling drinks and snacks can generate hundreds or even thousands of dollars a month if positioned in a high-traffic spot like a school, gym, or office building. The work involved is minimal. Just restock it and collect the money. ATMs operate similarly. You install them in busy areas, and every time someone withdraws cash, you earn a small fee. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme, but once set up, it's low maintenance, functioning like a money-making robot that runs on its own. 14th, e-commerce and digital products. Have you noticed how you can purchase almost anything online these days? Clothes, gadgets, digital guides, or courses? The best part is that you don't need to own a physical storefront or manage inventory to get involved. With Amazon FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon, you send products to Amazon's warehouse, and they handle the shipping for you. Drop shipping takes it a step further. You list products in an online store, and when someone buys, the supplier ships it directly to them. Then there are digital products like ebooks, online courses, or design templates. You create them once, and they can sell indefinitely with almost no additional cost. It's essentially leveraging the power of the internet to sell goods, whether physical or digital, and with the right strategy, it can evolve into a serious and sustainable income stream without the need for a traditional retail space. 15th, business ownership and franchises. When you work a traditional 9-to-5 job, you trade your time for money, and there's a natural limit to how much you can earn because there are only so many hours in a day. But when you own a business, your income isn't constrained by your personal time. It's tied to how effectively the business operates. Starting a business from scratch requires significant effort and dedication, but there's also a convenient shortcut: franchises. Instead of building a brand from the ground up, you buy into a proven business model, such as McDonald's, Subway, or 7-Eleven, where the brand is already established and you simply need to manage it well. Whether it's your own original idea or a franchise, business ownership puts you in the driver's seat. While it comes with inherent risks, the upside is that there's no ceiling on your potential income. Of all these assets, the most underrated and often overlooked one is number 7, your personal brand. Think about it. Every millionaire and billionaire today, from Elon Musk and Warren Buffett to Jeff Bezos, has leveraged their personal brand in some meaningful way. Their names alone carry immense value and influence. Most people dismiss this opportunity because they think, "I'm not famous. Why would anyone care?" But in today's digital world, anyone can build an audience and monetize their knowledge. Start a YouTube channel, launch a newsletter, or create a blog. It's one of the cheapest and highest return on investment assets you can ever own, requiring little more than time and consistency. If you put yourself out there with dedication, you never know what remarkable opportunities might come knocking. We've just explored 15 assets that can pave the way to riches, but the key takeaway is this: wealth isn't built by merely saving money. It's built by owning the right kinds of assets that work for you. If you start focusing on these assets today, you'll position yourself ahead of 99% of people who remain trapped in the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these assets do you already own, and which one are you planning to invest in next? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're eager to dive deeper into the financial strategies employed by the rich, be sure to watch the next video right here. It's an absolute must-see. I'll catch you in the next one.